Brighton 4, Manchester United 0. More disappointment, more embarrassment, more humiliation for Manchester United in what has been a season that can easily be described as by anything, any of those adjectives we just used right there, because it was record-setting for Brighton today. Congratulations to Brighton on a record-setting season for them. But also it was record-setting for Manchester United in records that you never want to break. Most goals conceded ever in a Premier League season. Lowest points ever in a Premier League season. We went up against a Brighton side today that hadn't won a home game in 2022. And they absolutely peppered us. They schooled us. It was embarrassing. I think they're, ninth in the table? We're 6th. Who knows what that's going to look like in a couple of games' time after West Ham have played all of their games. We've got one game left, of course. But you'd have easily thought that Manchester United were the side in 9th. Or Manchester United were a bottom half side, the way that they were schooled. And absolutely just... they stood there like statues as Brighton and Hove Albion played around us, and it was humiliating. And frankly, the players deserve every single thing that they get. You watch a game like that, I have no sympathy for the Manchester United players. I have a lot of sympathy for the Manchester United fans, especially the ones that travelled to that game, because they don't deserve that. None of us deserve this. But the players do, the club does, the people in charge making key decisions do, because this is what you get if you have a decade of mismanagement. You get that. And I don't even know how to effectively describe what we saw on the pitch today. No complaints. 5th successive away defeat. We were the same side that broke the record for the longest stretch of unbeaten games away from home. The good old days, right? At the time we thought it still wasn't great, but now in comparison it was golden. Poor, jogging, lack of effort, care and pride, just pure embarrassment. Another new low for Manchester United. And this is the thing. Whenever we've spoken about rock bottoms for Manchester United, no, not Dwayne Johnson, rock bottoms as in it can't get any lower than this. Every single time we've spoken about that when it comes to Manchester United this season, is this the rock bottom? Can it get any lower than this? Every single time I have said yes. Do not fool yourself into thinking that it can't get any worse than this, because it can and it will. And there's one game left, and who knows what's going to happen in that one. Because today was just a perfect encapsulation of Manchester United's season. A lack of effort, a lack of quality, technical ability. This is what is so wild, isn't it? Is that we've got Erik ten Hag coming in next season. He's a possession-based football coach. And I look at some of those players, they can't even string 2 or 3 passes together. They can't. And sometimes it's almost a case of I start almost to feel somewhat bad for them, because I maybe say, actually, maybe they just can't do it. Maybe they can't do it. I watched Alex Telles and Diogo Dalot play today, and they would not be out of place in a lower half team in the Premier League. No disrespect to them, but they were shambolic. Everyone was shambolic. I almost feel it difficult to single out specific players for how bad they played today, because everyone was bad. If I'm Erik ten Hag, I'm watching that game whilst I'm meant to be focusing on Ajax, and then I'm looking at my contract going, is there an out clause here? Because Ralf Rangnick described it perfectly. Open heart surgery. This is life-saving stuff that Manchester United as a football club requires. Not just necessarily the first team squad, not just necessarily that starting 11, the entire club. And it's evidenced by today. We go up against a side that 25 years ago nearly went out of business, but they're a well-run club. They've got a great coach. They've got a great training ground. They've got a great stadium. And who are we? We show up and think we're just going to win because we're Manchester United, because of the badge on our shirt. It doesn't even mean anything to some of those players. It means nothing. It means zero. And I'm not surprised either. Because if you at this point, if you are surprised by how poor Manchester United are, then I would argue or question, what have you been watching? What have you been watching all season? You watch something like today and you go, yep, that's about right. That's about where we are. It's not even a case of, and I don't buy into the whole, we've got nothing to play for, there's nothing for fighting for. What about the shirt? What about the fans? Isn't that worth fighting for? As I mentioned, you're a professional footballer. The first word there, professional. Where's your pride? Where's your passion? And I tell you now, if I see any kind of tweets or even the interviews, I've praised David De Gea for his interviews after games, but I don't want to hear from anyone. I really don't. And this is what bothered me. After the Brentford game on Monday, I said it on the stream afterwards, I said it on the full-time view, it really, really aggravated me that we saw a group of players that were walking around that pitch because they beat a newly promoted side 3-0 at home, that things were good. They were happy. They were smiling. They were going, we beat Brentford 3-0 at home, and yeah, it hasn't been a good season. Oh, these things happen, but don't worry, we'll get back to that point. No, it doesn't change anything. That result on Monday didn't change anything. It didn't mask or hide the fact that we have been objectively terrible this season. In terms of quality, in terms of ability, in terms of just grit, determination, wanting to win. They can't do anything. And that's why it frustrated me on Monday, because I saw a group of players walk around that pitch, happy, smiling, high fives, and they're going, we beat Brentford. You're still sixth in the table. You still didn't qualify for top 4. You're still on astronomical wages in comparison to other clubs around you, and you still can't get the job done. Why? Because you can't be bothered. And you're not good enough. You know, when a lack of quality meets a lack of effort, you get today. And that's all it was. A lack of quality and a sheer lack of effort. And Cristiano Ronaldo, after one of the goals, was laughing because he probably thought, I can't believe this. He must be thinking he's in some kind of, Doctor Strange is out right now, right, in the multiverse. He must be thinking, I'm in some kind of different universe here, because this is not the Manchester United that I used to play for. No way. It must be some sort of bizarro universe where Manchester United are actually crap, and somehow I've managed to travel through space and time and I'm here, because what is this? And that's what you do. You look at performance and you go, what is this? Now, Erik ten Hag, look, he's a very good coach, but he's not a miracle worker. And if a lot of these players still are in the squad next season, which frankly a lot of them will be, yes, there is going to be a lot of people leaving in the summer. Yes, there are going to be people like Mata, like Matic, like Cavani, like Pogba, like maybe a couple of other names, Phil Jones, Eric Bailly, that are going to be leaving Manchester United. But there are still a lot of players that played today that are going to be there next season. And a lot of them just aren't good enough. So it's not just those people that are already out the door when it comes to their contracts that need to go. There are a lot of people playing today that also need to go because they're not good enough. And also because I am tired of having this conversation of maybe this coach can get a tune out of this player. No, we've seen it. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over and over again and expecting different results. You will keep getting results like today if we persist with this group of players. Oh, maybe next time they'll get it right. Or maybe this time they won't throw the manager under the bus. Or maybe this time they'll try for the coach. No, they haven't ever, and they never will. And it's going to take a lot of time. And results like today, unfortunately, are going to become the norm, or somewhat the norm, every season for Manchester United over the next couple of years. And we've just got to grit our teeth and take it, because these are, I guess, we're being punished for the sins of the owners at this point. And, until Erik ten Hag is given time, and he has to be given time, and he has to be given multiple transfer windows, he has to be backed, then maybe, just maybe, we can start getting to a point where we've got some kind of pride in the shirt, pride in the team again. Because I saw nothing of the such today. And it's just such a shame, isn't it? It's such a shame. And at this point, again, I'm not surprised. I'm just sad. Because you watch that and you just say, not Manchester United that I know, And I'm sure that, and people can say, Owen, people of your generation, it's just because you're so used to success. I know people in my family that are Manchester United fans that watched Manchester United in the 80s or the 70s when they didn't win particularly that much, but they still were proud of their players and they still were proud of the side, and they still watched players that maybe if they weren't the best players, but even though we had quite a few good players in the 70s and 80s, they still wore the shirt with pride and they still cared, because it's not just about trophies. We can accept if you're not good enough if you try, and they can't even do that at this point. And it's just a crying shame. And heaven forbid what the game against Crystal Palace looks like, because at this point, as I said at the beginning of the video, rock bottoms, it can always get worse. And I don't mean to end on a bit of a sad note, but that's where Manchester United are right now. They make you pretty damn sad when you watch them. So one more game to go until the Erik ten Hag era begins, and then maybe, just maybe, things might start to turn around, but it's going to take a while, in my opinion. Anyway, guys, be sure to smash a like on the like button. Be sure to subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. One more game to go. I'm out of here. Peace.